Welcome to my channel. Today we are sharing the philosophy of the ancient Greek Stoic school. The basic values of Stoic philosophy are resilience, perseverance, and steadfastness, teaching people how to find inner peace in a chaotic world and regain control over their lives. The core of Stoic philosophy is also called the dichotomy of control. In other words, the world is unpredictable and it is meaningless to focus too much on things beyond our control. It is more meaningful to focus on what we can control and not let ourselves go mad over things we cannot control at the moment. The ancient Roman Stoic philosopher Epictetus described this very thoroughly in the 2nd century AD. Born into harsh conditions, the slave philosopher Epictetus was a slave from birth. Records say he was beaten and tortured by his first master, which left him crippled for life. Regardless, he was indeed both crippled and poor, spending most of his life without family or freedom. But he was fortunate to have a second enlightened master who allowed Epictetus to study with the greatest Stoic philosopher of the time, Musonius Rufus. The second master eventually freed Epictetus, but Epictetus made an unusual career decision. He became a Stoic philosopher himself, which immediately made him a target for the imperial government. When Emperor Domitian decided to exile all philosophers, Epictetus was banished. He later moved to a prosperous town in western Greece, where he continued teaching. It is said that the Roman Emperor Hadrian visited this town and had a conversation with the elderly philosopher. Hadrian's successor, the great philosopher Emperor Marcus Aurelius, was deeply influenced by Epictetus's ideas. Epictetus, through his life experiences, explained Stoic philosophy. He said that as a slave he was constantly beaten, tortured, and even faced death. So in such uncertain and oppressive circumstances, how could a Stoic remain calm and strong? Epictetus's answer was to continually remind himself of what he could control and what he could not. On the first page of his Enchiridion, he wrote, "Some things are up to us, and some are not." Epictetus listed a series of things that are beyond our control, which we call Area 2. Our property, our reputation, our job, our parents, our friends, our boss, the weather, the economy, the past, the future, and the fact that we will age. Of course, some things on this list are not entirely out of our control. To some extent, we can influence them, but some objective conditions make it impossible for us to completely control them. For example, despite our hard work, an economic crisis can easily cause an industry to decline, leading to unemployment. So, what can we control? Epictetus listed another set of things, which we call Area 1, our beliefs. This may seem like a very limited area, but this small area is the foundation of human freedom, self-discipline, and independence. As we shared in the last episode about Socratic philosophy, philosophy is the art of taking care of the soul, and our beliefs are our philosophy. Epictetus said that we must learn to let Area 1, our thoughts and beliefs, exert our power. This is our sovereign domain. We always have the choice of what to think and believe. Stoic philosophy holds that no one can force us to believe anything against our will. However, we must acknowledge that we do not have complete control over Area 2, external events. We must accept this fact, or we will often feel angry, scared, anxious, and find it difficult to maintain inner peace most of the time. 2 mistakes cause people pain. Epictetus said that most of the time people feel pain because they make 2 mistakes. The first mistake is trying to control something in Area 2, an external thing beyond their control, and when they fail to control it, they feel helpless, out of control, angry, guilty, anxious, or depressed. The second mistake is not taking responsibility for Area 1, our thoughts and beliefs, which we can control. Many mental illnesses and emotional disorders stem from these 2 fatal errors. For example, a person with social anxiety is obsessed with what others think of them. They become anxious, paranoid, angry, and helpless because they are too fixated on others' opinions, which are beyond their control. Instead, they should learn to focus more on Area 1, their beliefs and attitudes, adjust their beliefs, and tell themselves that others' opinions are changeable and insignificant. We cannot guarantee that everyone will like us, but we can learn to accept ourselves. Similarly, a depressed person often blames their bad mood on external factors, attributing the cause to the past, parents, colleagues, or the global economy. However, these are often things they cannot control. They neglect their responsibility for their beliefs and feelings, forget to examine their beliefs, and control their thoughts. Epictetus said that by reminding ourselves what we can control and what we cannot control, we can overcome our sense of helplessness and despair. This is also the attitude advocated by Stephen Covey, author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Covey said that the less we focus on things beyond our control and the more we focus on our circle of influence, what we can control, the happier and more effective we will be. A person must recognize and accept the limits of their control. For example, if one is in financial trouble, they should try to improve their situation. If one has a terrible job, they should try to leave it. If one is being bullied, they should tell someone or confront the bully. However, sometimes we all encounter adverse situations that we cannot immediately change, especially those that have already happened. At such times, we should calmly accept them and then wait for the right opportunity to improve the situation. The dichotomy of control in internal and external values. There are 2 types of evaluations of results: external value and internal value. External value refers to our efforts to gain recognition from others or the environment to obtain more survival resources and material conditions. Internal value is what we often call a sense of meaning, which means that we must have some spiritual pursuits beyond mere material needs, such as a quality or a principle we need to uphold. Virtue is good and vice is bad. Inner meaning is often the source of a person's happiness. People often put too much energy into pursuing external value. However, since external factors are beyond our control, competitors may perform better, or the boss may not appreciate our plan. These uncontrollable factors can make people feel powerless, leading to various anxious emotions. If we focus on achieving internal value, doing our best to follow our beliefs and doing the right thing, we will have a clear conscience. Even if the result does not bring external value, we will still feel a sense of accomplishment from realizing our internal value. The dichotomy of control in external and internal goals. What are external goals and what are internal goals? For example, liking someone and wanting to gain their love is an external goal that we cannot control. Love is a matter of 2 people. It requires mutual affection. Any dissatisfaction from either party can lead to a breakup. What we can do is show our true selves without compromising. When loving others, we must also ensure that we love ourselves. Making this the goal is an internal goal. How others treat us is beyond our control. What we can control is our attitude towards others and ourselves in the relationship, whether in academics, romantic relationships, or work. If we focus more on internal goals, we can maintain a calm mindset. This is what people often mean by do your best and leave the rest to fate. The dichotomy of control in healing childhood experiences. The dichotomy of control is especially effective in dealing with the painful experiences of children and adolescents. At that time, people were entirely under the control of their environment and others, especially their parents. Let us take a child who has experienced trauma in childhood as an example to illustrate how Stoic philosophy helps people endure suffering. A girl named Anna lived in a foster home. She was a very active child who could not sit still. Her IQ test results were below normal. It turned out that her biological parents were mentally ill and destructive. Her mother was a drug addict and sometimes fought with drug dealers. Her father was an alcoholic who often beat Anna. Despite the terrible childhood experiences caused by her parents, cognitive behavioral therapy had a surprising effect on Anna. The psychotherapist worked hard to teach Anna to distinguish between what she could control and what she could not, helping her feel that she could control her emotions and beliefs. The therapist told her, "When you see waves hitting the shore, you cannot stop them. If you go on a picnic and it rains, you cannot stop the rain. But you can decide what to wear to school and you can choose what TV show to watch. So, some things you can control and some things you cannot." The therapist said that as Anna gradually understood the difference between what she could control and what she could not, she overcame her trauma and returned to a healthy path. Anna did not become a drug addict or an alcoholic, and she became an excellent student in her class. When she retook the IQ test, her score reached a high of 128. Although the therapy did not target Anna's IQ, it removed many obstacles that had hindered her ability to perform. Anna had once blamed herself for her parents' actions. Overcoming this meant recognizing that she had no control over it and that it was not her fault. Now she can control how she views it and chooses to move forward. What happens to us may not be our fault, but how we view it is our responsibility. People can overcome unfortunate starting points in life. We need to remind ourselves of what we can control and what we cannot, and we must learn to distinguish between the two. Stoic philosophy insists that we can always control our thoughts, but our control over everything else is limited. This is a highly effective method, allowing us to face any difficult situation with composure. Those who practice the dichotomy of control recognize that we cannot change our past, environment, or family background. We cannot control others' evaluations of us or their thoughts. What we can control is the attitude of, if the mountain does not come to me, I will go to the mountain. We cannot change our parents' expectations, but we can change our own. We do not need to expect parents who meet all our expectations. We cannot change others' evaluations, but we can change ourselves. Study, make friends, travel, and have a bright and clear soul. We cannot change what has already happened, but we can change our perspective on it. New York City University philosophy professor Massimo Pigliucci is a staunch Stoic. He shared a personal experience. Once, while riding the subway in Rome to meet a friend, a thief stole his wallet. When he realized it, it was too late. Most people would be very angry in this situation, hating the thief and blaming themselves, even bringing their bad mood into life, losing patience with family and friends. But Pigliucci was different. Having practiced Stoic philosophy for many years, he handled the situation wisely. He thought, "The thief stole my wallet. It has already happened and cannot be changed, so I can only accept it. Next, I should focus on what I can control. What can I control? I can choose to go to the show and have dinner with my friend as planned." So his life was not significantly affected by losing the wallet. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This serenity prayer, written in 1934, spread during World War II. Every American Navy soldier carried it before going into battle. Later, it became one of the most famous prayers of the 20th century, helping people face the great uncertainties of the world with immense mental strength. May we all master this powerful mental strength, regain control of our lives, and face life's challenges with a serene mindset. If you have your insights on Stoic philosophy, feel free to share them in the comments. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to share it with your family or friends. See you next time.